there yet? Am I? It sounds like I'm there. All right. All right. Turn off that. All right. I got my monster drink. All right, I'm all set. Well, I don't know who's watching, but hold on, I need to turn this off. There. All right, I'm here. Sorry for the monster drink click, but hey, what's up, Sylvia? How are you, man? So yeah, let me do some. Anyway, good morning, everybody. Or I guess it is morning. I don't know what time it is. Yeah, it's 10:30. I was supposed to go on at 11, but now I'm gonna go on at 10:30. So, for anybody just starting out, my name is Milo. Um, I've been in the animation business in Los Angeles for 26 years now, and I've worked on a lot of different shows over the years, television shows. Probably a lot of them you grew up with, but uh, the ones that I liked the most were Phineas and Ferb, Animaniacs, Pinky and the Brain, and hey, what's up, Dublin? Woo, cool, man. And what else? Fairly Odd Parents and Chowder. Those are the ones that I can think of at the moment. So, anyway, for anybody that was watching last week we were having these characters, these two kids who were texting and not paying attention to anything on a park bench, or it's more like a city street bench. And then, lo and behold, here comes an elephant. And the elephant stops, sits, they switch positions, and what I want to have now, I mean, I got to clean up a bunch of stuff, but what I want to have now is for them to speak and talk a little bit about how boring their life is. So, the first thing I guess I'll do is I need a couple of blinks here. Let's do this. I'm gonna duplicate this symbol. Let's see. Steven Universe. I have definitely heard of Steven Universe. Yeah, it's on Cartoon Network right now. I've been working on Uncle Grandpa for the last 2 years, but only freelance. But yeah, I'm very familiar with Steven Universe. So let me see. What am I gonna do? I am going to make this guy blink, and the way that I'm gonna do that, I created a symbol here, and I am going to I duplicated it. Sorry, my brain is still waking up this morning, but I'll get going. So I'm going to duplicate this symbol because it comes after here. This is where the symbol is, and I would like very much for him to blink at least once. And if I do that, well, if you look inside this symbol has all these other drawings in it, and so if I tweak it to add a blink, it will cause me trouble because all of these frames will change. So instead, I duplicated it, and now I can change these frames. I'm going to delete these frames, Shift F5, and then I'm just going to create a little blink for him. crossover episode. Oh yeah, I have. No, I didn't work on that one, but that's probably because that one had to be in house. But I've done a lot. We did. There was one that was just on that was mine. It was called RV Olympics, and I did the I did what's called animation directing. And what animation directing is where you take something called an exposure sheet, and you have to break down every frame of film and tell the animators exactly what's happening in the scene. And it's a lot of work, especially if the show's complicated, and Uncle Grandpa quite often is. But it's a really good show, and I'm sad to see it go because it's been not canceled. Well, it's been canceled, but like they're just done with the show. They just decided not to do it anymore, which I don't like. But what are you gonna do? So, all right. Whenever I make a blink on a character, I almost always have them slightly dip down. I don't know why, but I just do. I think I feel like it move. You'll notice the blink a little bit more if you do that. So that's why I do it. Anyway, let's. Now this is going to. No, it's not going to loop. Okay, good. All right, so I'm going to expose this frame and change it to frame 2, and he'll blink once now. So now he walks in and he blinks once. All right, but now I really need some pacing there, so he needs to think a little bit. Oh, and you know what else? There's this one. If you watch this, you'll notice that that the character, the elephant, I don't know what we call him. What should we call him, guys? What's the elephant's name? But you'll notice that as he's walking, there's a little bit of sliding. He's not really perfectly, planting his feet. And that's hard to do in Flash when you're using something called a tween. Animate. And this tween is basically what it's doing. For anybody that's not familiar with it, is essentially just sliding this character. So inside here is a walk cycle. And then the character is sliding across the screen via this tween here, which is designated by the blue dots and the line. So there is a plugin. This isn't perfect, but it's going to definitely work better. Now that I got where I want him to go, I can select this layer here, and I can go up to commands, and I can convert to twos. And when I do that, what it does is gets rid of what do you call it? The tween that I have there. And what it does instead is now the character still sliding a little bit, but he doesn't slide as much because it's not every frame. And if I had had this character on twos, which he's not right now, but let's see what happens if he is, it should stop sliding considerably. And I could probably go in, I wish I could make it on threes, but now he's definitely not. Yeah, he's going too fast. All right, so let's leave him at 3. Yeah, for now. Hey, what's up, grungy 1965? 85. My eyes are old, man. I'm from 65, so that's how old I am. Anyway, what's up? Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending upon where you're checking in on. I think that I am going to now that I'm not going to mess with this anymore, I'm going to take it and I'm going to color it because I can. By the way, for anybody that's that uses Animate, they updated it last night or yesterday. So there is a new version of Animate up on the Adobe Cloud, and it adds a couple of fixes that were there, and it also some of the some bugs it fixes, but it also adds a different way to draw with the brush. So you see the old way, there used to only be like five choices, and now there's more. And it also now has a zoom with stage slider over here, which allows you to resize the brush infinitely, really, on the fly, which is very cool. Can you save yet and animate yet? Well, yes, middle-aged youth. That's me. Do I usually animate without naming layers? When I'm messing around with this and I'm just drawing, yes, I do typically do that. Because I'm always moving layers around and changing stuff, and it takes, I really just want to get the thing done. And then usually before I finish it, I'll usually go back and change the naming conventions and whatnot, so that it's, so that if somebody's using it, needs to use it, they can find stuff. But quite often I don't even do that, because it usually goes from me to somebody that's not going to deal with it. And half the time I've got thousands of layers, or certainly hundreds of them, and no, I'm just not that disciplined. And no one's yelled at me for it, so I don't bother. But can you save and animate? Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that must be character animator. Yeah, you've been able to save for many years. Man, that's one thing I really hate when I do that. All right. So, yeah, look at that. See, now it's all color. Well, not quite. Hold on. But this is one of the things that I really like about using something like Animate as opposed to another program. Because I'm using symbols, it allows me to color just, I'm doing this cycle, it's a couple of drawings. I can quickly color it all in, bam, I'm done, which I really like, because I like to be done. Not done, but I like to get paid. So the quicker I can get an assignment done, the better off I am. And I can move on to the next one and then do more animation and get paid for it, which I like to do. So, let's see. You know what else I was going to do? I was watching this last night, getting ready for this morning, and I noticed that it jumps a little here from there to there. So I'm going to add an in-between here, because I can. Well, someone... No, that was me. I'm the only one that's worked on this. This is just me. So if you saw it, you saw me doing it. I did this last week on Tuesday morning, I think, at 9 o'clock. So you could find it on the Adobe page if you're interested. Let's see, is that line big enough? Yeah. Alright, you know what I'm going to do, though, right? Unless somebody's trying. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it wasn't me, maybe it was, maybe somebody else is drawn an elephant. I suppose that's possible. It's not that unusual of a thing. But I think that it was probably me, especially if it was on the Adobe page. I don't think there are many people animating elephants walking in this city. Let's see. Do I have my own stream? Why, yes, I do. Hey, StarCrunch, can you put up my stream? It's Milo Works. It's a Twitch dot what was it .tv/Milo Works. But my buddy StarCrunch will give you a link for it. I think. Now, where did I? Yeah, okay. Yeah, see, now that definitely, there was way too much jumping. Totally need. This has to be like in between here. Definitely. Well, last week we had some technical issues, so I was a little flustered while I was animating. It's nothing worse than screwing up in front of dozens of people. Alright, so there we go. I think I pretty much got him now. Thank you for just following me, whoever did, because I just got an email on my phone saying somebody followed me. Well, just got another one. Cool. I like it. Thank you for following me. I typically stream more on the Adobe channel, but I do it because I don't have that many followers yet, because I'm really new to this genre of the internet, I guess you might say. Oh, you know what else we should do? All right, so now, look at that. Ah, he's so cute. All right. All right, cool. So, right, hold on. I believe I'm not allowed to curse on this channel, so I'll say dang it, because dang it is polite. And I don't ever curse anyway. Yes, I do. But I will not do that on this channel, because that would be uncouth of me. Am I going to SwitchCon? No, I wasn't even aware that it existed. Like I said, I'm really relatively new to this kind of thing. Where is it? Tell me about SwitchCon. Where is it? Is it a big deal? Is it like Comic-Con? Because I've been to Comic-Con many times, but now that's a little crazy. Alright, so you know what else we're going to do? I am also going to add a tail on him, just because it adds like a nice little secondary action, which I think is cool. And in order to do that, I'm going to put another layer above what layer I've got, and I'm going to match the keyframes. Just in case you don't know, you can add keyframes by hitting F6 or F7 in Flash. Animate. I'll probably never get used to that. All right, so now what I'm going to do here, the character, when something like a tail is moving, the character usually the tail will usually overlap, right? You know, so it's doing like this as it's going. So yeah, the flash slip. Yeah, exactly. Hey, what's up, man? How you doing? I can never pronounce it. Says CN Kisten Dignity. I don't know. Sorry. Can't. Anyway, hey, what's up? Um, let's see. Oh, Comic Con for Twitch people, huh? And it's in San Diego this year, is it? When is it, Colin? Um, that's cool. I mean, I think I'm a new user. Maybe next year, if people are watching my stream and it grows and people like what I'm doing, yeah, maybe I'd go. Anyway, so what I was saying is that typically a tail will flap back and forth, and oh, cool, September 30th. Oh, it's coming up then. Very cool. Well, I probably will miss it this year. Are you going to that? I have I do have a face this time. See, I told you it wasn't really worth it. Um, anyway, I'm trying to explain something. So I'm gonna use I'm gonna use just a line to, which is kind of a figure eight in a lot of ways. If you notice, when you animate something that flaps, it's pretty much going on a figure eight sort of stream, like. So that's what I'm gonna attempt to do here. So if the first frame is that, so then the next frame is going to be that, then the next frame is going to be that, then the frame after that is going to be that, probably this, then probably this, then probably this, and probably that, and then it should come back to that. So let's do this. Alright, so now let's just see if this works. Yep, that works just fine. Alright, cool. So now I can clean it up and I can put it underneath so that it's very clear. It's a little slow. Could probably fix that. Let's see. Oh, that's very cool. Are you a painter, Colin? That's very cool. That's very cool, actually. Iric? Is Iric somebody? I'm not used to the Twitch. What is it? Shadisphere. Alright. Well, I think my problem is it's because it's on threes, and I'm so alright. So let's see what we can do about that. Digital painting as well as charcoal, pencil, pen, and all that media. Very cool. I will have to. I will follow you as soon as I get the chance to. After this is all over. I love watching other people work. Actually, I am not a painter. I've painted a little bit of stuff over the years, but not very much. One of the biggest things I painted was a skate deck. I painted a couple of skate decks for some people for an art show in Vegas, and they went for like $300 a piece, that's pretty good, I think. I was happy with it. I was really happy with that. That was fun. Who doesn't like that? No, wait a minute. What did I do wrong? Oh. I put this on the wrong layer. Alright, so I'm getting caught up in what I'm doing here. All I'm trying to do is make this snap a little bit better. So I wanted to do that. How about that? That might work. Let's see. Yep, that works better. All right. Now, yeah, and then if I change this to this, and in between it. Yes, I am from Cali, Colin. Yes, exactly. I'm in Los Angeles, actually. Uh, yeah, I've been here for 26 years, actually. I'm originally from New Jersey. If you can't tell by my accent, everyone always says, "Oh, yeah." I actually had some guy come up. I was talking to some guy, and he was like, "Oh, hey, you're Mike Milo." I was like, "Yeah, hey, what's up?" And oh, you know who it was? It was Jazza when we did this Adobe stream, and so he says, uh, he, he says, he says, "Oh, hey, you're from New Jersey, right?" And I said, "No, I'm from Australia." And he goes, "Wait, no, mate, you can't be from Australia. I'm from Australia." And I said, "No, I'm really from Australia." And he actually believed me for a second. Anyway, it was funny. Was it Pinky in the Brain? Was it a Pinky in the Brain deck? No, it wasn't. I'll actually show you if you guys want to see it. Hold on a second. There it is. I don't know if you can see it. Yeah, you should be able to see it. It's just the creature from the Black Lagoon. You can, I don't know, it's hard to see it, I guess, but yeah. So I made 3 of these, and I sold 2 of them, and this one didn't sell, so I kept it. It's just up on my wall. Yeah, Jazza. Yep. Yeah, the fire. Oh, really? Is it still going? The fire there? Wow. Yeah, it's really bad. We were watching it. What is it? The Cajon Pass fire is terrible. Pivot? No, I haven't heard of it. Is it still a? Oh, thanks, guys, for the comments on the skate deck. No, Pivot. I have not used Pivot. Um, I just with for animation, I've mostly used Flash and now Animate, and also I use something called Sketchbook Pro for animating as well. And there's also like another like Mac program called Pencil, and a couple other cool programs too that I've used over the years. But primarily, I just have used, either traditional or Animate. Well, I was using Flash, but I can't say that now. And what do I paint it with? Or what did I paint it with? I painted that with acrylics, actually. It was, just pen, brush and paint and stuff. And yeah, if you can do that, go ahead. Can StarCards? Can you, whoever's doing it, can you let Colin send me a link? Do I still work for Titmouse? No, I stopped working for them a couple years ago. I directed a show called Randy Cunningham Ninth Grade Ninja for them, which was a really good show, and I was kind of sorry to see that it didn't make it. I mean, it did, but it only had a couple of seasons because I thought it was a really fun show. I mean, the name alone sells it, really, when you think about it. Let's see. I need to do that. Whoa. Wow, that was not good. Let's see. No, I'm doing that wrong. There. All right. Now, how does it work? Yeah, that's much better. All right, good. Gonna settle for that. Yeah, there was a lot of them. Well, I only worked on the first season. I didn't work on the second one because I left to go work on What did I go work on? I went to go work on Phineas and Ferb, I think. Or maybe I did Phineas and Ferb first. I really don't remember anymore. Oh, I know what I did. I went to go work on Fairly Odd Parents with Butch Hartman, who's an old friend of mine from Hanna-Barbera. The first steps in. Hey, what's up, Raz 8? Um, Let me think. Well, to start to get into the business, really, the animation is different. Television animation, which is the only thing I can really comment on, but I'm fairly confident that um, feature animation is the same. It's unlike most businesses in that really the only thing that you need, you don't need experience, you don't need anything. What you need is a good portfolio. And if you can have a really good portfolio and demonstrate that you can do the job, you'll get a job. It's all about the portfolio. The portfolio is the power of this business. And like I said, you have a good portfolio and people will hire you because there's just not enough of us. And case in point, I'm always doing freelance because they can't find enough people to do the jobs that that are needed. And with the now that Netflix has started up and they're doing original content, both animation and live action, and Hulu's doing it, and Amazon is doing it. There's a lot of work out there, and there's just not enough people to do it. So definitely the biggest thing you need is the ability to draw really well and to have a great portfolio. The other thing that you really need, um, in my opinion, is you need to be here in Los Angeles because the number one place to get a job where all the studios are is in Los Angeles. That's why I moved. But, oh, whoops. I was a little overzealous in my drawing. So, I mean, I think that that's a very important part of getting a job in the business. And really, the best way to do it is to be here and look for a job than to secure one ahead of time. But a lot of times there's they do the casting calls. We call them cattle calls in the business, and a lot of times there's a lot of that where they're like, we need this guy, hurry up, and you just send your portfolio in, and they say we like it, and then you say I can relocate, unless you're local, in which case it's a lot easier. But oh yeah, that's definitely close enough. You could drive up here. Oh, San Francisco, right? Yeah, yeah, it's close enough. It's a long drive. My wife just actually drove there this past weekend. She drove up to Sacramento, actually, like Oakland area. A friend of ours has a boat up there. Um, let's see. I worked on that. Yeah. Oh, on Randy Cunningham, Ninth Grade Ninja. Yes, I did work on that. And yeah, I loved Fairly Odd Parents too. It was a very good show. Um, Phineas and Ferb and Fairly Odd. Yep, I did. I worked on both of them. In fact, I was a writer on Phineas and Ferb because on Phineas and Ferb, you don't just. I was a storyboard artist on that show, but you don't just storyboard on that show. They also make you write, and you have to write a song too. I worked on a bunch of those episodes. It was a lot of fun. It was a great way to do a show, I think. What would I recommend putting in a portfolio? Well, the number one thing I would say about putting a portfolio together is to be clear what you want to do. Don't just say, oh well, I'll do anything you want. Don't do that. First of all, it sounds desperate, and second of all, it doesn't really work. What you should do is, if you want to be a storyboard artist, then you should absolutely primarily have storyboards, and don't have two, and don't have, like, if you've done tests and stuff for studios, don't put the test in there, because if you If you failed the test, then you're basically just saying, "Look, I didn't get the job," and I think it's a lot better to have a good one. The way that I learned how to do storyboarding is I did my own films, um, and this was at a time when there really wasn't many people in the business, but I did a lot of that stuff. Where I did a few. My first storyboard was for my own show, my own pilot, my own cartoon. It was my own short, I guess you'd say, for Hanna-Barbera many years ago for a thing called What a Cartoon. And actually, let's see. Let me see if I can find that on YouTube. Whoa, hold on. Stop it. All right, let's see. Whoa, no, I don't want bloods. I want blues. All right, I can't find that. Where's my channel? Let's see. I'm trying to find this, but oh, you know what? I think it's on this. Actually, yeah, here it is. Here, if you guys are interested, whenever you get a chance, check this out. This is the first film I worked on. Not worked on. It's the first one that I wrote it, or I co-wrote it with my friend Harry. But and I even did the main character's voice. It was part of. I wrote it. I directed it. I animated it. Something called What a Cartoon. So if you're interested in looking at that, check it out. I did another one. It was called The Ignoramuses too. Seeing that we're talking about stuff. The Ignoramuses. There you go. This one's really bad quality, but it's old, so you can only expect so much. But here's another one. Yeah, it's very old school. And yes, I do love my job, Colin. It's great. Oh yeah, Roz. That's it's not very far. I'm actually going up there. Going up there in October. A friend of mine's getting married, and I'm looking forward to that. What you would most likely add things to your portfolio in favor of the studio company? Yes, I definitely agree. You would definitely add stuff for the studio. Be clear what you're doing. I think it you don't necessarily have to do exactly that, but I think you should know the studio that you're working, that you're trying to get a job for. You should understand what they're doing, and so in other words, what I mean by that is if you're trying to get a job at Cartoon Network, don't send them action show stuff. If you're trying to get a job with, Warner Brothers, and they're looking for somebody for their latest Batman film or animated thing, then you don't send them cartoony, silly show stuff. I mean, know your audience that is going to be looking and commenting on what you're doing. I think that's a very important thing to do. Eh, you do remember that, huh? I am some, huh? You understand? You remember that? I can't believe that you remember that. It's a long time ago, but yeah, I did that. I think that was like 1996. I want to say 95, maybe 94. Hey, what's up, Agent X Real? Yeah, I figured the whole thing out. Yeah, it was as it ended up turning out. If for anybody that wasn't watching last week, I did my first stream without my camera because it screwed up just moments before we started, and the only way that I could fix it would be to restart, and then of course then I wouldn't be on, so that didn't work out as well as I would have wanted it to. But so I did a whole stream without me there, and I think didn't I? No, I got rid of that, I guess. I drew a little picture of me up there instead. Wait, is that it? Yeah, there it is. I drew a picture of me instead because no one could see me. But I guess I can just get rid of that now. It doesn't matter. Is that it? Yeah, that's it. Yeah, see, now I should be naming layers and stuff. It'd probably go a little faster. Let's see. Yeah, know your audience is. It's always good for anything, any work. I mean, I imagine it would be important for any job you're trying to get. I mean, at the very least, understand the job you're trying to get. That's a really important thing on any level, honestly. But it's really important in animation because there's so many different types of animation, and there's so many different types of shows and styles and whatnot, and you know, you could easily get a job if you pay attention to that kind of thing. But by sending somebody the wrong type of stuff, that you're definitely not going to get a job. Then wait, I'm completely screwing this up. Hold on. There. All right. Now I was trying to add some hair color here. Yes, I am working on a Cintiq. That's my go-to drawing utensil. I actually on Monday nights I teach a class down in downtown in Los Angeles on how to storyboard at a school called Studio Arts, and yeah, and they do not have Cintiqs there, and I said, well, if you want me to teach there, you're going to have to get me a Cintiq, and so they did, and so I've been using the Cintiq there, and then the new semester just started, and they something happened to the Cintiq, and I had to teach a class in storyboarding without the ability to draw on a Cintiq, and yeah, it's just a nightmare. That just did not work for me whatsoever, and so they fixed it, and I'm very thankful for that because I can't draw on a tablet, where you draw down on the screen and you're looking up here. You guys are anybody that could do that. Props to you, man, because that is not an easy skill, and I know a lot of people that do it too, and I'm like, you are insane. I have to draw directly where I'm looking. That's just I don't know. Let's call that a Mike Milo rule. I must draw where I'm sitting. What color should his hat be? Yeah, that works. All right. I really shouldn't have started coloring all this stuff, but I already did. So let's get it done. Yeah. Well, you don't necessarily need a $2,000 Cintiq. This one that I have was used. This is a Cintiq HD 22-inch HD, and it's even a touch. And I got it on eBay for $900. Well, it was $1,000, so that's half the price. It's still expensive. Totally get that, but it is a little cheaper. The other thing is that I have this. I bought a. I have a Cintiq Companion, which is 13-inch screen, and it's a lot. It's a lot cheaper. I think I got this for $500. So yeah, you could do that too. Uh, it's not as bad as drawing with my mouse. Yeah. Hey, Michael Shea, what's up, man? How you doing? Thank you for checking in on me. What's up? Yeah, that is a steal, right? I know, 900 bucks. And like I said, it's a touch screen. I turn the touch off because I don't really, I don't ever have a reason. I can't really think of a reason that I would want to touch my screen, but I guess, I don't know. I mean, I guess there's a reason for it. I know you can do pinch and zoom and all that stuff. I don't care. Really, really, really just don't care. I don't want to do pinch and zoom. I'm perfectly happy using the keyboard, and I guess that's just because you know, I'm, I don't know. I'm just set in my ways, I suppose. But, the Intuos, huh? Yeah, those are cool. But that the Intuos exactly what I was saying that I'm just not talented enough to pull off. It's where you've got to do you've got to draw in one place and look somewhere else, and I just don't possess those skills. So yeah, that wouldn't be an option for me. Oh no, I don't use the glove. No, I don't want to draw a glove. I feel like Mickey Mouse when I have one of those. I do have a Samsung um, Galaxy uh, Note 10, and I use one for that because you can't turn off the touch. And the thing that I don't like about touch is that in order to use a touch screen and draw with it, you have to like the hand or the palm rejection just doesn't work very well. And so you're forced to learn to redraw, and you have to put your palm down so that the computer goes, "Oh, this is a palm," and then you start drawing. Whereas I don't do that. I do this. That's how I do it. I go and I draw, and that's there. Just to demonstrate that, you can see. See, I do that. I put my hand down and I start drawing. I don't do this. And I don't like doing that. And I don't want to relearn drawing because somebody didn't decided not to pay attention to how people draw. So I don't know. That's just me. But um, I'm just set in my ways, I suppose you'd say. Uh, oh yeah, those are cool. It is hard to get used to. Yeah, I do recommend a no touch screen. I think that if you bought this new, they're 500 bucks more for a no, for a touch screen. And again, I don't use it. I turn it off. I mean, it's a novelty. I'll be like, hey, look, it's a touch. It's like an added bit of interest. But yeah, I don't bother with it, and because of the extra price, I don't want it at all. So I'm pretty cheap. I will almost always buy something used because I don't want to spend the money. I just, I mean, I do because I need to, because because it's my business. But I don't know. I just hate buying new things because next year comes a new one, and then a new one, and a new one, and I really just don't want to waste my money on technology that really didn't advance that much. That said, I am going to be getting that new, 'cause I'm a tech guy, but I'm going to get one of those Samsung Galaxy Note 7s. I don't know if anybody's tried one of those or looked at it yet. It comes out in a couple of weeks. But dude, that thing is like futuristic. It has no bezel on the screen. It's just a beautiful device. And I used to be an Android guy, and then I switched to being an iPhone guy. And I think I'm gonna switch back now. So anyway, let me see. What is I old dog's a new trick. Yeah, that's exactly true. Yeah, the legs. Yeah, this is my style of the year, I guess. I don't actually have a style per se, but I don't know. I started drawing this style because I thought it was, I don't know, it was just fun. I get tired of drawing the same thing. I used to draw a lot like Warner Brothers type characters and stuff. And I mentioned last week my first job in the animation business was drawing Tasmanian Devil. And so you see, look, I'll draw him real quick. Here's Taz. I worked at Warner Brothers for quite a few years after that, and I have very small, but I helped a little developing Animaniacs and did some walk cycles and stuff like that. But I've always loved Taz. Why am I drawing him? Well, I should have Taz come in. No, that's copyrighted material. I can't do that. But I'll delete him in a second, and no one will ever know. Anybody ever see the old Warner Brothers cartoon called The Dover Boys? If you have never seen it, you really need to. There's a bad guy called Dastardly, I don't know what his name, Dastardly Dan or something. And and that's what he says. No one will ever know. Anyway, you should check it out if you get a chance. It's really great animation. It's actually one of the. It was directed by Chuck Jones, and if I'm not mistaken, it is probably one of the first times that somebody used what's called a smear drawing. So when you smear, or a blur drawing, where you blur into one, from one drawing into another, and which I think is really, it was revolutionary for its time. And anyway, if you're an animation fan, or you're trying to learn how to do animation, check that film out because it's so fast, so quick paced. It's just a fantastic little film. Again, it's called The Dover Boys, if you're not familiar, or if I wasn't clear. Let's see. I'm gonna go with that. Yeah. Let's see. How long did I take? Oh, that's him. Yeah, the S7 notes are really expensive, but yeah, I don't care. I mean I do, but because I am cheap, but at the same time I'm addicted to technology, so I've got all kinds of tablets and whatnot, and honestly, I'm just kind of getting tired of. I have an iPhone now, and I got it so that so my daughters could not say that they didn't. Wait, what am I doing wrong? Oh, that's why. So that my daughters couldn't tell me that they didn't get my texts, and as it turns out, now they're older, and I just really don't need the thing anymore. But so I'm tired of it, and I do a lot of what do you call it, like talk to texting, and I really didn't I already do that? No, I guess not. And Apple's just not the best with that. Google has a much better talk to text engine, as far as I'm concerned. Where is this final cartoon? I'll probably post it up on my YouTube page when I'm done. It's not really a whole cartoon. It's just a little animated piece. So if But I definitely will put it up. I mean, it's pointless to animate something and not have people see it. Still, I will post it there if you guys would like me to. Let's see. I'm going to give him... Alright, look at that. If I draw on a piece of paper, can I put it on a Cintiq and trace it and it will show up? Actually, yes, you can do that. I have done that when I first got one. But really, there's not much point, Grungy, because you know you're essentially, I don't know, you're wasting the technology of being able to use this. And I think once you play around with a Cintiq, you'll find that it's not complicated to draw with at all. It's, I mean, it feels a little rougher than I mean, a little slicker than paper does, but at the same time, it's far more superior. And the difference between drawing digitally and drawing traditionally is that you really don't have to, you don't have to worry about, you make a mistake and then you have to, now you erase, but there's still a ghost of what you erased. You don't really have to worry about that kind of stuff because you simply undo and move on. And it's, certainly for a professional artist, it really makes a big difference. Not only that, but there's layers. You can flop things back and forth if you want. It's entirely worth it. But that said, not everybody can afford one, and so you do what you can to create the art that you're interested in. So I didn't have one for years, and eventually I actually started working at Cartoon Network on I was directing a show called Chowder for them, and they had a deal with a local place who got me a Cintiq, and they got it to me for, I think at the time they were selling for $2,500, and I bought it for $2,000, which is a really doggone fine deal, I might say. Dang it. Let's see. Let's see. The only reason I ask if someone does a drawing and I can't redo, that would benefit. Yeah, but again, that someone down further says you can also import it via scanner. Or if you don't have a scanner, you really don't even have to do that. Just take a photo of it with your cell phone and then, upload it to your computer. That works perfectly well. I've done that myself in a pinch when I need something. And that works great, actually. I've done that with things like contracts and whatnot. Because I'm in a pinch and I need to sign something and then I can't, because it's hard to sign a PDF if you don't have the right software to do it. Alright. Let's, gee whiz, I spent a long time coloring this stuff. Really shouldn't have bothered coloring it yet, but I did. Alright, so there's our characters. They're all doing... Oh, whoa. There's no... missing the whites of his eyes. You can clearly see that as everything's fluctuating all over the place. Alright, so, alright, well now I'm going to get back to doing some animation. And actually clean some stuff up. So they're texting, Alright, so now he stops. Alright, so I need an in-between between this and this, don't I? I do indeed. So let's, probably should have more than one. Oh wait, is it locked? Yes, it is. Alright, now, let's do... in between this. So I need this and I need that. Okay. Let's see. All right, cool. Nice to see you, Colin. Thank you for checking in. I appreciate it. And yeah, I imagine I'll be back at some point. I don't have a regular streaming thing on Adobe, but at some point I guess I will. Why does Cintiq still cost so much with the technology? Well, yeah, they you're right. They shouldn't cost as much as they do. But the thing is if you've ever used any other ones of those, then they're not even close. I have I run a website on the side called Animation Insider, which if you haven't checked it out, you might want to. But Animation Insider is it's dedicated to interviewing animation artists across the globe, and we've interviewed over 1,200 artists in the entertainment industry all over the world. And if you are a professional animator, by all means, we'd love to have you interview. But anyway, that said, one of the things that we also do is review hardware and software and whatnot for that's specifically geared towards animation. And we've gotten a couple of reviewing technologies over the years, and they all bite. They're all terrible. The only one that I've found that works is the Cintiq technology. I mean, I don't know. Maybe you guys will disagree with me, but I've had a Surface Pro, and the Surface Pro, the 2 was good because it had Wacom technology, but now there's the 3 and the 4 and the Surface Book, and man, I'll tell you what, I have used those, and I can't draw with them, and that's a problem. And so if Microsoft can't get it right, that's why it's an expensive technology, because they should be getting it right. And they bought this company, I believe it was an Israeli company called Entrig, and they got rid of the Wacom drivers and implemented it onto the Surface 3 and the 4, and I'm sorry, but it's just god awful. Hey, what's up, Ling Ting Ping? What's up, man? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for tuning in. What time is it? It's 11:30. Well, hello and good morning to you because it's still 11:30 by my time. Let's see. 1,300 for a Cintiq. That is a good price. But I think you could probably get it for less. Like I said, I got this one for 1,000. So if you keep looking, I mean, if you're desperate to have one so quickly, well, then that's actually a pretty good price. But it would be better. You could probably find a better deal at some point. I'm always looking for that kind of stuff anyway, because I have a lot of friends that don't have them that are interested in getting them, and I don't know. Like I said, I think I said I'm a technology nut, so I'm always I don't know. I'm always looking at technology. I have an old Cintiq over here. I have the old 21UX, which I love, but did I just? No, I didn't. Why do I not see that? Oh, I guess I don't. Oh, there. Let's see. Very cool. Do you stream on Twitch? That's great. I'd love to see some of your stuff. Oh yeah, Mr. Dadulance. Yes, the 13 HD. That one's cool too. You know what's even cooler? I have a. I think I've said this already before, but I don't know if anybody knows it. But I got a Cintiq Companion, which is 13-inch as well. And the thing that I like about it, as opposed to the HD, is that that's a full computer, is in addition to the being a tablet as well. So I bought one of those, and I really like that. Actually, that's actually I would say that if you want to buy a portable tablet that you can use as a computer, that's hands down the best one. And I've owned all of them, so I really have. I've owned a lot of these technologies, and that's the best tablet I've ever owned. I owned I've owned a lot of them. I won't go into details on that, but nice Batman shirt, huh? Yeah, baby, Batman. I wasn't actually sure whether or not I would be allowed to wear this, because Twitch is very concerned about, making sure that you don't play copyrighted music and whatnot. So I was a little worried that they'd then blur my face out again the entire time and see that I was doing it last week without the video. I didn't want to risk that. But StarCrunch said that they don't care. So I was very happy to hear that because I already had the shirt on. And there you go. I really like this shirt actually. It's like workout material, so it breathes nicely. Anyway, it's a great little piece of clothing. I have another one that has the Punisher as well on it. Let's see. All right. Well, all right. Hold on. In order to do this, I gotta wait. No, I messed that up. I'm making you jealous. Oh, yeah. Yeah. The companion is really sweet, man. I mean, it really is. It's just great technology, honestly. It's so well worth getting, I think. And I was gonna buy the two, the Cintiq Companion 2, but I read a lot of articles about it being a little noisy, and I don't want it to be noisy, so I chose not to get it. Yeah, I don't need to worry about that. All right. Do 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 do. Whoa, what happened there? His, his eyes don't move. Boom. That's not going to work. Whoa, what did I do? I completely screwed that up. That is it. That is what we will call an epic fail. I must have been looking at the wrong in between somehow. Let's attempt that again, shall we? All I was trying to do, I didn't want to redraw the circle, but I guess I didn't do something right. Let's see, paid off in like one project time. Yeah, that's how I got my initial Cintiq. I live in Los Angeles, and I became friends with a Beverly Hills plastic surgeon who had he had a ranch for at-risk kids on the side in Malibu, and he took tattoos off of gang members that wanted to get out, and just generally showed that there was another life for at-risk kids. And sadly, he passed away, and he passed away texting while he was driving. So do not do that. That is a bad thing to do. Anyway, yeah, he was driving down a road we call PCH, which is right on the water, and he was tweeting at the time, and he rolled his Jeep, and he had the Jeep, the top down, and it just crushed him. He went off a cliff and died. It's awful. But anyway, on that happy note, I don't know why I even said that, but he um, he had this place called Boney Pony Ranch, and the design of the character had been created by Joe Barbera, if you know him from Hanna-Barbera fame, and so he wanted to do animation and cartoons and whatnot with this Boney Pony character, and he asked me, he found me online and asked me if I would be interested in doing that. And so one of the things that I did for him, again to make a long story longer, was to I did a comic book for him. No, I'm sorry, it was like a what's the word? A coloring book for him, and he. I said, well, sure, I'll do it, but in order to do it, I need to do it digitally so I can get all the nice, clean, crisp lines. And he said, okay, that's fine. And I said, well, in order to do that, I need to get this new thing called a Cintiq. And he said, done. Yeah, because he was a millionaire. He could care less about money, and he was like, yeah, go ahead, get it. Add it on to the total of the what your invoice. And I said, thank you, sir. It was cool. I used to go hang out with him in Beverly Hills. Not a lot, but I went and we watched the Laker game, and there's this, I forget what it's called now, but there's a cigar bar there in Beverly Hills, and a lot of celebrities go there. It's like one of those clubs that you have to belong in. And so the first time I go there, I'm sitting at a table, and in walks all of the what are their names? Now I can't think of his name. Um, Alec Baldwin, the Baldwin brothers. They all came walking in. They were playing cards, or they were going to play cards that night there while the Laker game was going. So all four of them, I guess. I forget. I think there's Alec, Steven. I don't know. Maybe there's three, but anyway, I only remember Alec Baldwin. But he was very nice. He introduced himself. He's like, "Hi, my name is Alec," and I didn't say, "Well, dude, I know who you are," because I didn't. It's one of the things about celebrities. You're not supposed to do that. But yeah, that was fun. Sadly, I missed that guy. He was a good dude. Anyway, yeah, it is sad actually. So don't drive and text, because, I mean, this man was, he actually was on a number of times, because he was known as the plastic surgeon to the stars. So like he did Heidi Montag stuff. He did a lot of like Playboy Playmates stuff, and he did. If you know who Gene Simmons is, he did Gene Simmons's. Um, he did his plastic surgery, and he was a very talented man. And sadly, he passed away. I hate hearing about that kind of crap, especially for something as senseless as that. I mean, the guy he had ridiculous amounts of money, and you know what? Even money won't save you, right? I mean, something as simple as that's as preventable as don't drive and text, which honestly should be it should just be a no-brainer, but it's not. And I'll admit I do it too. I have been known to do it. And for whatever reason you go, well, yeah, but it's different because I'm doing it. Well, it's not. I mean, this guy had millions of dollars, and it didn't save him. Anyway, don't do that. I'd hate to hear that you guys were killed doing something like that. That's an awful, awful thing. Anyway, on that note, I must stop talking about that. But anyhow, back to animation. Yeah. Let's see. Morning, Grizz. How you doing? Daniel Baldwin. Yes. Thank you, Sticky. Thank you. Thank you. Yes, that's who it was. That's exactly what Daniel Baldwin. I didn't want to be impolite because the only way I know him is that I think he lost weight now, but he used to be called the fat one. I didn't want to be rude, but I somehow doubt he's watching, so I don't think I'll offend him. But anyway, he was nice to me, so I really shouldn't be mean to him. All right, so boom, 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 and there we go. He blinks twice. All right, so now let's go and start cleaning this stuff up. I gotta. You know what I'm gonna do with this? Forget that. Let's just copy this. I don't have to redraw it because if I redraw it, it's gonna. Although I'm not sure why that's there. I think it's there because. Yeah, whatever. I think it's there because I wanted it for reference on to keep solidity, etc. But I'm not sure. Anyway, story time. I know, right? Yeah, story time. All right. You want to hear another story? Here's a story, and it also involves cars. When I moved, I got my first job in animation. It was in New York City, and I was animating cereal commercials for a company called Broadcast Arts, which is now gone. But anyway, I got a job from there. When I was working there, you could not. It was only freelance, and I just couldn't really survive. So I had to find another way to work, and I got a job in Yosemite. If you're not familiar with Yosemite, it's one of our national parks. It is a beautiful place, and I got a job working up there in Yosemite, where there was a video game company called Sierra. It's now called Sierra, but at the time it was called Sierra Online, and they made I guess what you call those point and click video games, like old school pixel based point and click. So I worked on a bunch of old video games. One of them was called Leisure Suit Larry, and I redesigned Leisure Suit Larry so that he looked the modern way, from being pixels to actually being a human. And although he had that big long nose, but anyway, I designed him, and the modern version of him. And so I was working up there, and I got a job. Well, I already said when I got a job, but I got a house up there on one of the mountains up near what's called Bass Lake, and it was a beautiful place. I wouldn't recommend it if you're a young single man, though, which is what I was, and so I didn't really appreciate it and didn't like it. And so this one night, I had been to a bar, and I was coming home, and I wasn't drunk, honestly. I wasn't drunk, but I lived at the top of this big winding road, so it was like zoom, 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 zoom. And I really hadn't had anything to drink that night, but there was nobody else on the mountain because it was a summer home mountain, and that's all there really was summer people there, and this was in the winter. And so I used to love like doing like pole position with it or whatever, or where I like whip up and down the mountain because there was never anybody there. So anyway, I'm driving up. It's pitch black. It's like 1 a.m, and I'm zigging and zagging, zig zag, and I go to zag to go this way, but I hit black ice, and instead I go whoosh and go straight. And what I didn't know is that there's a cliff right there, and so I went off the cliff, and it's pitch black, and my car, I had a pickup truck, landed on a tree sticking out of the the mountain. It was actually more like this, and so I actually had to get out of the truck and get onto like the truck opened, and I got out, climbed up, went to bed, got up the next morning, and came down to go get my car. And there's my roommates and the fire truck and the police truck all looking for a dead body. And I'm like, "Hey, what's up, guys?" And they're like, "Oh my God, you're alive!" And I looked down, and the drop was, it was like a 40-foot drop. So I was very lucky that I'm sitting here right now talking to you guys. Al Lowe, you know who Al Lowe is? Yeah. I worked on Leisure Suit Larry. No, it was Leisure Suit Larry 4 or 3? I think it might have been 3. No, I didn't work on The Incredible Machine. I worked on Leisure Suit Larry, King's Quest, Space Quest, and something else called, I don't know, Keeping Up with the Joneses. And I was the lead animator on a lot of those things. Yeah, thank you. I'm glad I'm alive too. I tell that story a lot better when I'm not trying to do two things at once. But, you know, what are you going to do? But anyway, there you go. Story time. All right, time for bed, children. Have sweet dreams. No, really don't. Go to sleep. Voodoo Val, hey, what's up? How you doing? Good to see you. Thank you for stopping in on our little stream here. King's Quest. Yeah, Sierra. Yosemite Sam. Yeah, Yosemite Sam is cool, Grizz. I like Yosemite Sam. My favorite, though, my favorite is Bugs Bunny. But I have to say that I really like Foghorn Leghorn. Just because he's just such a nut. I want to say another word, but I can't, so I won't. But, yeah. I love those old cartoons. I'm not really loving the new iterations of them, to be quite honest, but, you know, it's not my call. Let's see. What do we? Hey, I'm trying. Val, thanks. I got my sound working and everything. My video, my camera working every time. Got it working this time. Very happy to say that. I don't have a picture of me up instead. Although that was fun. All right. Space Quest was one of my favorites. What software did we use? Oh, man. We used D-Paint, actually. What my job, I didn't deal with a lot of that stuff. What my job was, they hired me because they were trying to get real animation instead of the pixel stuff that they were doing, which was literally animating with pixels, which is another one of those things like, dude, that's some serious talent. But anyway, they wanted instead to get a little more fluid animation, so they hired me to draw on paper, and then we would scan it in, and then we would have an assistant clean up all, and color it and stuff. Like, I would clean it up so that the line work was all there, but then somebody would pixelize it, and they did some amazing stuff, really. But so that's how we did it, and then they would clean it up into D-Paint. In fact, I didn't even scan it in. Now that I think about it, we filmed it on a, like we put the paper down and take a picture every frame, and then somebody would clean up that rough animation, which was not easy to do. Anyway, pixel art is a thing on it. Yeah, it really is. I don't know. Have you guys ever seen what's it called? There's an animated piece that I can't think of right now, and it's like a video game, but it's not actually a video game. It's animated as if it was an animated video game, and they do it all in Flash. Actually, it's all animated in Flash, and they do it with drawing little pixels, little boxes in Flash, and animate this great stuff. I don't remember what it was called. I will. You can find it on my website, Animation Insider, if you're interested in looking for it. I can't not think of what it's called. But let me see if I can. I'm gonna look it up real quick. Come on. Wow. Social. Where is that? I know that I. Where is it? I don't know. I can't find it. That's too bad because it's really pretty cool. But it was all animated with pixels. I don't want to waste you guys' time. But let me see. Oh, Voltron. That's what it was called, Voltron. This stuff is really pretty cool. It's done by a guy named Chris Burns over at Exit 73 Studios, which I believe is in New Jersey. Anyway, here, if you guys want to check out that sometime, it's amazing that was done in Animate. That's how it's done. So, I'm really impressed with that. Let's see. Is he? Is he watching right now? Well, see? There you go, man. Oh, Long Island. All right. Wait, is that you? Buffalo Bronson? Is that you, Chris Burns? Well, anyway. Flash MX. Oh, well, all right. I stand corrected. But it doesn't matter. It's Flash. You guys are insane for that. It's so cool. Anyway, I loved it. So, you guys should definitely check that out and check out more stuff on their page. Very talented bunch of fellas at that studio there. Oh, PodChamp? Oh, Exit 73. Oh, cool. All right. Well, hey, what's up, guys? I've never officially met you, but there you go. Or actually, no, I didn't. No, but you guys did some other stuff too, which was very, very nice. What was it? Something like a Frankenstein Frankfurter or something. It was, I don't know. I think that's how we met somehow. Anyway, it was very cool. Cool stuff, man. Anyway. Alright, well, see, I'm just cleaning stuff up today. But I guess that's kind of how you got to do it. I do. I got an hour left. I don't think I'm going to get to the lip syncing part this week, but I'm definitely going to do that. I think once I clean this stuff up, I will go back to doing that though, and try and lip sync some stuff. Flash MX, man. Remember that time? Like, I don't, for any of you guys, there was like a time where everybody was always adding these like arbitrary numbers on the end of things. Like there was Windows XP, and I know what XP means, but I don't think that's why they did it. I don't think that's why they called it XP. And then there's Flash MX, and I don't know. There's like a time in the early 2000s where people just name things crazy names. I don't really know why they do that. But what are you going to do? Now they name things far better. Now they just completely miss an entire iteration, like on from Windows 8 to Windows 10. They're just like, yeah, we don't care. We're going straight to... I'm going to turn it up to 11. Spinal Tap, if you guys are old enough to know that reference. But you're probably not. Somebody is there. Somebody. Give me a shout out there. Come on. XP means extra XP means extra pepperoni, huh? Is that what it means? With the X. Yeah. Well, extra pepperoni is an essential part of your daily diet for sure. All right. We have finished this. You know what else I need though? Definitely. Oh, no. Whoops. I missed this. I missed it. Oh, what am I talking about? I still got a lot to color. Bam, bam. But it goes fast. Wait. Oh, yeah, it works. All right. And now label quadra. What's a quadricopter? I guess I missed something. Oh, they now label quadcopters with weird numbers and letter codes. Yeah, they seem to just, I don't know, they just like make stuff up and they're just like, hey, let's just call it the X49. I'm like, well, where does 49 come from? I don't know. It was my zip code when I was a kid. I don't know. Whatever. What am I? Dechi? Well, I assume you're asking me what I'm making. I am animating a. Yeah, it's been a while. I guess let's revisit what I'm doing. I'm making a little bit of animation of two kids who aren't paying attention, and they're complaining about the fact that nothing cool ever happens where they live, and they're tweeting and Snapchatting, so they're not paying attention. And then an elephant walks in, because that's what happens, you know. If you're not paying attention, guys, an elephant walks into the room. That's what happens. Maybe you don't realize that, but maybe you need to pay attention. That happens to me all the time. Elephant walks into the room. Isn't that a joke? An elephant walks into the room and says, ... I don't know what he says. I'm not gonna embarrass myself by saying some stupid dad joke, because that's where I am in life, is dad jokes. At this point, it's the elephant in the room. Yes, I can see your chat, Ditchy. I'm sorry I didn't answer you earlier, but I can actually see it. And so that's so we're animating this character. I'm gonna show you the full animation. It's not done, but I'll show you what I've got in a second. I just want to finish drawing or coloring this little part here. There, and you still have some other stuff to do too, but alright, so here's what we got so far, ladies and gentlemen. And I'm actually going to change it a little bit. Works pretty good. Let's see here. Alright, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to change this up a little bit. An elephant is smarter. How do you know an elephant is... Well, that's a good point. Yeah, last week we were all making a lot of dad jokey kind of things about elephants. But here, I think this joke that I'm trying to pull off will work a lot better if I add the audio at the beginning. So let's do that. Alright. So I'm gonna split this audio, and now I will slide it to after the fact. There. And now I'll go back. All right. Let's see. How many frames does that hold before the jump? It is about from 187 to 220. So what is that, about 40 frames? Something like that, 36 something. Yeah, it's just well, see, the way I view animation is that you don't want to rush anything. So especially now with this joke that I'm trying to pull off. So I'm going to animate this like this kid saying this. So we fade in and bam, here we go. And then an elephant walks in. Actually, wait a minute. I want to actually... There. Now that's what I want to do. I want to split this audio. One of the great things about Animate that you can now split the audio, which I really like. All right. There. Hey, what's up, Hunter? Ah, my nephew is here. What's up, Hunter? Hunter Andrew 02. Love it. Nice to see you, man. Good to see you. Thank you for checking out my little animated whatever stream. All right, so let's see if this works a little bit better. It kind of works. I think I need to fill this space. There's two. I need a little more animation space. Thank you very much, Hunter. I know what I need to do. There. slide that out a little bit.
Nothing cool ever happens here.
Yeah, that works. I think that I could probably slide this a little earlier. Maybe it's about 12 frames before he says it. All right, so now let's right about here. I'm gonna split this, and I'm gonna duplicate the symbol, and then so the kid one talks now here, and let's see, how am I gonna do this? I know what I'm gonna do. I am going to cut out his head, leave the body so that he's texting the entire time, right? Because now I'm in a copy, and do the same thing for this. Did I say Flash? Oh yes, Animate. Yes, don't call it Flash. Actually, I like the name Animate better, to be honest. I mean, it's clearer what it does. Flash, I don't know. I have yet to see it flash me. So, you know, you have to pay extra for that. But, you know, if it wasn't for stupid Steve Jobs, and I could say that now because he's dead, but if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have had to have the name changed. He attempted to kill it, which I think wasn't very cool of him, to be quite honest. But hey, whatever. Go ahead. Destroy my dreams. Whatever. Anyway, I like Flash, and I like Animate too, so I still think it's the best program to draw in, to animate in, and it's getting better all the time too. The drawing tools are getting better. Hey, thanks for the t-shirt, huh? You can't hear the audio? You can't hear the audio? Everybody else seems to be able to. Did it cut out on me? Oh, you can't hear the audio? Oh, you can't hear this audio? Oh. Really?
Nothing cool ever happens here.
I can see it. We tested it before. Yeah. Works better to see the live action me. Yeah. Thanks. You cannot... Oh, the audio does work. Okay, good. Alright, cool. Scaring me, dude. Well, then you have your audio down because everybody else can hear it. Something, I don't know. Well, there you go. Alright, so now I'm going to... wait, no. I am going to group this again. No, I'm just going to call there. Let's kid talks. Alright, and then I'm going to put this in another symbol. Wait, what? No, I can't. Dang it. Oh, wait. Yes, I can. Watch this. Wait, what? Well, that didn't work. Alright, so here. Why is that not working? I know why. Because it needs to be the original. Alright, so. Yeah, see, that works. Alright, so I'm going to use this little tool here. I'm going to cut this, and now I'm going to use it paste in place. Yes, I wish that we could do that. Let's see. Oh, the animation is like on 1. Oh, okay. All right. Well, I can turn the desktop audio up. I just don't want to bug anybody. But I'll turn it up. Let's see. Yeah. Oh, it's low. Okay. Well, all right. Here. Now, is this better? Tell me if this is better.
Dude, nothing good.
I'll turn it up just a little bit. You guys can tell me whether or not that's better. Am I out? I'm sorry if I blow out your ears.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here. Totally Snapchat about it. I know, right? Sucks.
All right. So, is that better? Is that better? Now you can hear it. There we go. All right. Excellent. Hey, is that Gamer Ray? Are you referring to me, big boy? That's me. I am not a small fella, which is not necessarily a good thing, but it's my thing. All right. So here we go. Now I need to copy this. All right, so I'm going to copy all of this into his symbol. No, wait, not that one. Let's go back to this one. Yeah, there we go. There we go. That's perfect. And all right. Hey, what's up, Dean? How you doing? Dean Bakeris just joined us. Dean and I go way back to when we were probably about 4. That's a long time.
Dude, nothing.
All right, so here we go. So now I'm going to change his head here and call him Kid One Head. All right, and then I'm gonna go further in, and I'm gonna paste this dialogue in here, so that now I can go back and now I can start to animate his mouth. So many steps. Why are you taking so many steps, Mike? Because I can, Pinky. Actually, there. All right. Oh, you know what I'm gonna do? Because really, what I want to do is. So this is Kid Mouth. Kid One Mouth. All right, and then now I'll put that on another layer. There. Yeah, Animate's the same thing as Flash. Honestly, it's just they updated the name because Steve Jobs tried to throw us under the bus, and he couldn't do it. All right, now I really did not set this drawing up for animating, but you watch, I'm gonna get it to work anyway. All right, so I want this, and I'm gonna put this with this mouth here. Oh man, I totally screwed that up. There, I need to do this again. No, not doing this right. No, it's not all HTML. Grungy. I mean, you can export to HTML, but that's not the only purpose for it. you can export to a video as well, which is how I intend to export this out and do it. All right. That's how I'll ultimately share this. Why can I not do that? There. All right. Let's see. All right. Now, what was I doing? I wanted to grab his jaw because I'm going to take this jaw and I'm going to cut it out and I'm going to put it into the mouth and paste it in there. Wait, there. And this is about as down and dirty as you're gonna get for doing something in Animate, but I originally wasn't gonna have him talk, and then I thought, well, he should. I mean, the joke is that he's complaining that nothing cool ever happens, and then an elephant shows up, which maybe you guys are a little more worldly than me, but I think that would be pretty doggone cool. That would make me happy. My wife would love that. My wife is a crazy animal fanatic. She loves animals. I mean, I love them too. Who doesn't love an animal? But she's a little crazy about them. All right, so what I really want to do here, I really don't want to see the rest of this, and I want this to be back there. So I'm just going to color this in here. There. All right, now if I bring that back, now we're getting somewhere, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so let's do another one. So that's his mouth at rest there. Actually, hold on. There. All right, so now he's going to open his mouth. And I think it needs to be just ever so slightly larger. All right, there's that. Let's do another one. Let's just do a couple of them here. Do this. Very quickly. Let's see, then the next one would be teeth. There is a pattern that us TV animators follow for mouth charts. And we go by letters. And actually, to show you and demonstrate it, this right here is a mouth chart for Uncle Grandpa, and you can see that it's designated by the letters down here. And we do that so that when you send it overseas to be animated, the majority of the people over there, of course, don't speak our language, and so we letter code things so that they don't have to know that, and they can just lip sync what we tell them the character is saying. Makes things a lot easier for them and really for us. So, mouth charts, yes. All right, I'm getting there. I've got a half hour left. Almost done. Let's see. Let's go back to this. Okay, wait, or do I want that? Yeah, this is the one I want. I'm gonna reuse this one here. You know what? I haven't saved in a while. What? That sucked. It just crashed. Oh, well, go back to where I started yesterday. Or last week. That would bite. That would, I would probably curse. Sorry. But I probably would curse. In fact, I know that I would curse. I can do it. I can do it. You can do it. Did you ever see that guy? Who's that? Whoa, what's going on with that? What the heck is going on with that? That's weird. Did you ever see that guy? He had the long hair back in the 90s, and he used to be on one of those ellipticals, and he would say, "You can do it." Whoa. There. All right. I think I've got. Oh, you know what I'm missing? The F. There. Definitely missing the F. Oh, and those mouths are not thick enough, I don't think. Well, maybe they are. You know what? I'll just redraw this one. That solves that problem. I needed again anyway. For back here at the end, the last one is this F. All right. We're almost done, almost done. I can start doing some lip sync. There. All right, quickly. We're running out of time. I want to get some lip syncing done because that's just a fun part of animation. So I don't want to miss that. I know I won't lip sync at all, but I will get a fair amount of it done. I'll certainly get his first line done. It doesn't really take very long to do this. Alright, oh, and you know what? I don't need this one now. Alright. Oh, I need his mouth, the inside of his mouth. Bam. Classy packs, yeah, it actually is. I think that it is the best animation tool, especially for somebody that's like a hobbyist, or I guess that's what you call it, but somebody that doesn't necessarily do that for a living. I think that it's the price point is perfect for you, and you can I need his tongue. But I think that there's a lot to be said for the way to using this program for animation, and it's just easy to use, honestly. All right, now the last thing I need to do is I need to ever so slightly bring the jaw down for each one of these actions, so that the jaw moves with the characters. There we go. Almost, almost. We're getting there, ladies and gentlemen. I'm gonna watch some lip syncing in a second. And running out of time. Running out of time. All right, put there. All right, so there we go. Very quickly. That is the. Make sure that you guys can still see me because I need to have this. All right, so now the way that I did this is I created a mouth clip for him, if you'll notice, and by doing that now he's got all this talking, all these different mouth positions that are just gonna sit there and cycle until I click on this, and I'm going to tell it to play a single frame, and then I'm going to use this extension called keyframe. I don't know what happened there. Whatever. Okay, bye. I don't care. I don't care. Bye. All right. So now, watch this. All right. So the first thing he's gonna go do. Dude. All right. Nothing. I didn't do that one right. Yeah, you know what? That'll work actually. Actually, no, it won't. All right, we're gonna do one more. Sorry. This is what I want. What are you guys talking about? Pasta salad. I guess I totally. Who likes potatoes? Matching with direct. Yes, I am matching. Well, no, I'm just matching with the lip sync. All right, I want to have one more here. I'm sorry, guys. I can't do my commenting as easily when I'm running down in time. So I just really want to get a little bit of this animated. So I'm gonna. You guys talk amongst yourselves about. Did I do that wrong? No, I didn't. No, I did that right. Oh, all right. There. Whoa, whoa, whoa! Cut that out. Boom, boom. Come on. Now I'm going too fast. My brain can't keep up. All right. There. All right. That's what I wanted. All right. So. How long does a single animation take? Well, this has taken me to, I don't know, what, 6 hours now? So, it takes a while. All right. Let's put that somewhere else that we don't see that. I don't know why it's doing that, but I don't care. Nothing.
Dude, nothing. Nothing cool.
I think I like this one better. Let's use that.
Nothing cool.
No, well, I don't let's see. Animation is a labor of passion and love. No, I would say you need more than open and closed. I mean, you could do just flapping mouths,
Cool ever happened. Cool
but I think that you need
ever.
more than that.
Cool ever.
Hap. Here. Here.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here.
All right. Let's go to the next one.
Here.
Let's see. I'll just break this down. What time is it? It's 12:42, so I'm gonna have to go in 10 minutes. I don't actually know who's next because I didn't look at the schedule because I probably should have, but sorry. But whoever it is going to be awesome. I'm sure that they will be fantastic. There's so many talented people on this Adobe Twitch. Almost done. Almost done. I just want to finish the lip sync. Snap. Chat.
Totally Snapchat.
All right, hold on. Man. Yeah. I think this needs to be a little there. And then maybe we'll slide this a little further. And then there. I did it. I actually did it.
Dude, nothing.
Alright, and now I need to make this loop. Wait, why is it doing that and it's not? Oh, that's why. Because there.
Dude, nothing.
Alright. There. Alright, let's see how this animation works. Shall we?
Dude, nothing.
Oh. Oh, it's on the... Wait. What am I doing here? Oh, that's why. Again. Alright. Let's attempt it.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here. Totally Snapchat about it.
That works. Let's see. Oh, did somebody curse? Yeah, you can't curse, fellas. You're not allowed to curse. I'm not cursing, and I like to curse. I don't like it, but just life. All right, so yeah, do I stream? I don't know. Is Kendrico asking me that? I don't know. You guys are all talking amongst yourselves. Oh, Milo. Oh, yeah. My channel is Milo Works. Yeah. Um, all right. Who did the voices? Oh, that's me. I actually I recorded it in my sound booth. I have a sound booth down in my garage, and I did that last night. I know it's not great, but I recorded the voices. Sometimes you gotta curse. I know. All right, so I think I could probably refine this a little bit.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here.
All right, and I definitely don't have time to mess with him. But what I can do is here's his head, and I can definitely tweak his head a little bit. Have a little bit of animation when he talks. I'll add some eye blinks in there too. No, wait, actually that's not what I want. I want like this. A little bit of anticipation as he's gonna speak. And I turn off that. I don't want that.
Dude, nothing. Dude. Dude, nothing cool.
Yeah. Yes, Sam Peterson. You gotta watch him. He's got some. That dude's got some major talent.
Cool ever. Dude, nothing cool ever happens here.
All right.
Totally snap. Totally Snapchat.
No, that does not work. And yep, I got 10 minutes left.
Totally snap. Totally Snapchat. Totally.
All right, let's see.
Totally Snapchat.
All right. Let's see. Anyone you open tunes? No, I don't use it. You know what? It looks cool in theory, but it's so complicated, and they're really like I just couldn't get it to work. So I had it, but then I stopped. I didn't bother trying to learn it all. I don't want to relearn everything. All right, let's see if this head thing works a little bit better. Coming in on 10 minutes left, and then we're done for the day.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here. Totally Snapchat about it.
Yeah, it works. Yeah, I mean, I think there's a lot I would change, but let's see. I got 10 minutes left. Let's see if in 10 minutes, I can draw this. I'm sure I can. You know what? Yeah. Let's see if I can do a very quick real bench. That I can. You ready? On your mark, get set. It's going to take me a minute to do. I've got 10 minutes. Pretty sure that I can pull that off in a couple of minutes. There. Wait. Hold on. There we go. Oh man. I'll fix that. There. A little bit of gloop right there. Yeah, I can do it in 10 minutes. There. Bam, and done. All right, now what color is a bench? I'm gonna say it's probably green. That's what color we're gonna make it for now. Again, there's all kinds of things that I would do for this. Add some highlights and whatnot. But run out of time. I can't actually add a highlight. Why not? Why not indeed? Because I can, that's why. Alright. There. Wait, oops. Oh man. Alright. Just about. Just about. Alright. Most benches are brown metal. Oh, yeah, that's true. Line blaze on the background. I feel like getting it, but yeah. No, yeah, they did do that. Yeah, the, like line boil and stuff. Yeah, I've definitely. Hold on a second. What happened to him? His eye. Yes, that is what I was doing, is line boil, but I didn't really do it so much to do it as much as I did it because I'm animating quickly and just don't have the. I should just keep his teeth green. He doesn't brush his teeth. But I just mostly do it because I was running to the finish line, so to speak. All right, let's copy this. Go here, and then switch to this, and paste this over it, and bam, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, doggone it! I got 7 minutes left, man. Oh, is it really? Did I really screw that up for every frame? No. Did I really? No. Oh, good. Well, I would replace the eyes ultimately anyway. All right, now. There you go. Here he is in color. I'll just leave it down.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here. Totally Snapchatting about it. Alright?
Yep.
Sucks.
All right. Well, there you go. Whew. No, I call it a line boil, not line blaze. But, which, by the way, is a very good website to go check out. Animate or Flash Animation, lineboil.com. Let's see. Cyan, line blaze, waviness. Yeah. Most benches are brown. Oh, I don't know what. Yeah, line. I use line boil, but line blaze would work too. I don't think it necessarily matters. So we're coming up on 5 minutes, and hopefully you guys enjoyed this. I will probably be there back on again another time. I'm not sure when exactly, but I will probably be back. So if you want to subscribe to my channel and you haven't done it yet, please do, because I will most likely also be doing my own channel as well. Yeah, that's much better now that now that they're sitting on a green thing. What on earth? All right, so there you go. That's pretty much the extent of my animation. Same bat time. No, probably not same bat time. Probably not same bat channel. 2 hours. Was that like, how much time do you think you clocked on this? Totally on this? This is probably 6 hours worth of work, I would say. But, because I screwed up.
Dude, nothing cool ever happens here.
And 45.
Totally Snapchatting about it.
Oh, you know what?
Alright?
The elephant needs to be lower too, because he's standing in front of the bench. No, I can't do that. I'll figure that out another time. Anyway, thanks, guys. Thank you very much for watching me again today. Really appreciated it. It's been a lot of fun for me. I love doing this stuff. I love animating. Stay tuned for Sam. I think his name is Peterson. And I've watched him, but I don't remember the name. I'm looking back. Well, I don't know. Anyway. All right. All right, guys. I'm going to let go now because I've actually been streaming for 3.5 hours. So you guys have a good day. And don't text and drive. If you don't know what I'm talking about, check back earlier. But I'll see you guys later, and have a good day. I'm going to go. Bye.